Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. So, Manchester City, who finished top of the league, have already signed Erling Haaland. Liverpool, who finished second in the league, are close to signing Darwin Núñez. And Chelsea, who finished third and some way off the top two, are still waiting, monitoring, have interest in players, but no concrete signings as yet. What are we waiting for? Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah. So, Kimpembe, De Ligt, Koulibaly, Jules Koundé, Gvardiol, De Vrij, Skriniar, Bastoni, Torres, Bremner, Fofana, Jimenez, Dumfries, Dest, Cucurella. Phew. I think those are all the defenders that we've been linked with in this window. But out of all those who we've been linked with, the closest one to joining us would be Jules Koundé. But yeah, apparently Chelsea haven't even put an official bid in. They've agreed a deal with a player, but Sevilla are still waiting for a bid. So that's why Chelsea fan base are getting a bit restless. Let's go to the midfield targets now. Midfield, which is an area that I feel that we definitely need to strengthen in. We've only been linked with two players, Declan Rice and Sangare. We were linked with USMNT, but again, because last year we didn't go in for him, he's now joining Real Madrid, so that ship sailed. And if reports are to be believed, it was Thomas Tuchel who vetoed that deal because he said that he didn't feel that he was ready and Saul had more experience. So if he did, and he's going to be in charge of transfers, like I mentioned in a video a couple of days ago, then you know what? Not sure about his judgment there. So we definitely need to bring in a director of football. Let's move on to the attacking targets now. Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Dembele, Nkunku, Lautaro Martinez, Leao, Robert Lewandowski, and I'll say Richarlison. He's not so much a target, but he's given Chelsea a come and get me plea because he wants to leave, and he said that he's named Chelsea as one of the clubs that he'll be interested in joining. So again, out of all of those, Dembele seems to be the closest. So he seemed to be the closest a couple of days ago when reports were that he had agreed and that he was all but signed the deal. But again, Chelsea are delaying on that decision because they're not sure yet about whether, apparently it's 70-30 in Chelsea's favour, possibly more according to a journalist today. So we'll see what happens on that score. But again, no signings, just pure speculation, no signings. And as a fan base, Chelsea have been through this before. They've seen it, they've done it, they've worn the t-shirt. That's why everyone's getting a bit itchy feet about who we're going to bring in. Are we going to bring these targets in time, or are we going to be missing out on them because we just keep on delaying and not, we don't know how to close a deal. I for one would like to see a lot of players coming in as soon as possible because I want Thomas Tuchel to be having a squad for pre-season that he can work with. When people come in towards the end of pre-season, it's harder for them to adjust throughout the season as they didn't have a chance to form a chemistry with their teammates. But I do have a bit of sympathy in this situation because we've just had a multi-billion-pound takeover and things take time because obviously the new regime have to sort of get in, have interviews with the manager, find out what his plans are, and as we said, he's given him Tuchel a bit more autonomy so he can bring in the players that he wants to bring in. So and because we are under sanctions as well, we weren't in a position to be offering people contracts to sign. So we were kind of playing catch up behind some of the other teams. But Liverpool, were they always in for Nunes? I don't know. Darwin Nunes, because apparently there was interest there. But with Liverpool, they've gone in, agreed a deal, and they've gone straight to his club Benfica and said, you know what, this is how much we'll be prepared to pay, and they're at the moment negotiating with them on the terms of the contract. So, Chelsea, well, I haven't seen an official bid being put in for anybody at the moment. So once we see official bids in, then that's when we'll know that we're truly serious about who we're going to be getting. So for now, we just got to deal with all the speculation, and it's going to be a long summer because we're going to have speculation after speculation. I named 15 defenders on that list, and 2 DMs and 6 or 7 strikers. For me, I think it's going to be more on who goes out, because there's a lot of talk about who's going to be leaving. So there's talk about Werner going, there's talk about Ziyech going, possibly. We got Christian Pulisic, Alonso, Azpilicueta, and Bakayoko maybe going to Spain to join up with Gattuso. Ross Barkley's possibly going to be going. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Kepa is going to, Lazio want him. So there's a lot of people. There's going to be, but I can't see wholesale changes, 5 in, 5 out, as I mentioned before in another video, at the most, possibly this season. So out of those lists, I know it's a long list, you've probably forgotten all those people I've mentioned on the list, but out of the list, if you had to choose 2 centre-backs, 1 full-back, 1 defensive midfielder, and a couple of forwards, who would be your choices? And remember, we've only got 200, I say only, we've got 200 million to spend. So for instance, if we're spending 130 million on a Declan Rice, that doesn't leave a lot of money to spend on some of our other targets. Obviously we will gain money by the sales which are coming in from other players. So for instance, if Werner goes for 40 million, if somebody like Ziyech goes for 30, Pulisic for another 40, then you're talking about another 110 million pounds to spend on players. We know with the Lukaku situation, it's going to be hard for us to get any money from him if he goes back to Inter, that we may be pushing him down the route of the Bayern Munich or somewhere where we can probably get more money. But again, he's got to agree on that deal. Bayern Munich may not even want him, so we have to wait and see on that one. So that is it, guys. That's it. Speculation, monitoring, interest, but no deals. Come on, let's get some of those deals signed, sealed, delivered. So that's the end of the video. One last thing before I go. I don't usually check my stats a lot, but I checked them the other day and I noticed that only 5% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed to the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified, hit that bell button so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Like the video as well, as it helps the channel, and share the content with those who you think will want to know more. Until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Take care.